the number I got on my dice rolls, I was going to do that many reps of a lift. And I'm not doing that gimmick this week either because my arms are sore still.
Emily isn't in the roll 20. Emily
Yeah,
isn't in the
no.
roll 20. Oh, there she is. Okay, so last we left off, you had just pulled 12 people out of a old rickety house that was actually a portal to the despair dimension, where they were all being held for many years, not allowed to age, only set to experience utter torturous despair. But now they're all in front. Now they're all in front of a fire. 6 of them are currently unconscious, and the other 6 are in varying states of cope. The priest from the Church of Tolerance who brought you here told you that he cannot
tolerate this.
No, that he cannot do anything about the house being here. He can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
It might take some like religious heavy artillery to fix that.
Hey, in the meantime, we should probably board it up. I wonder if any of us are really good and quick with...
I have this move called Resourceful Carver where I'm adept at crafting replacement spears, javelins, arrows, or any wood-based gear I'm familiar with. I am from... Neo, it might sound odd, but I think Aegis is familiar with the 2x4.
I don't know, it's a legendary... No, like it's a legendary weapon.
I'm not entirely sure about that.
Oh god, now I just remember the fucking movie where the Rock just...
Does he ever walk the plank?
He's like had to build stuff.
He's from a fishing village. They probably had like docks and piers they had to repair and stuff like that a lot.
I mean, okay. I'm trusting you on this.
Alright, well, the GM will tell you how long it takes and any additional requirements for boarding up a house. Boarding up a house, and that people will be surprised by my resourcefulness and speed.
Right.
That guy from
the door off its hinges and rotates it and nails it back in place.
I actually fuck up and I wind up making the house look really nice and really inviting. Give it some nice new window hatches and just get the roof all good.
Just a few hours. Just a few hours. You find like a tree that will suitably give you all the wood you need.
I borrow Axe's axe to start.
No,
I was gonna say Axe is an actual lumberjack.
Oh
wow! Between the two of us,
okay. Yeah, so Axe is gonna shop with Axe because
you know what? Fuck this mercenary company. We should become like a logging business.
I was gonna say, Axe is a lumberjack. You're good at making like stuff. Jesus Christ, Azora does like whittling and like small carvings and whatnot. You know.
Yeah, let's get into fucking carpentry. It's just boring carpentry party instead.
That would. Oh, you know what? Even if we already have the no ones, like the Carpenters would be an interesting mercenary.
Yeah, I think the name is taken. We might have to fight someone on getting the name the Carpenters.
That's our goal. We're gonna kill someone to get the Carpenters.
The next time we'll be playing, we'll all be into metalworking. We'll call ourselves the Smiths.
I was gonna
post really hilarious.
Okay,
songs.
That was good. Maybe the Steel Carpenters.
I feel like I'll confuse people. They'd all walk in and make the same joke.
So, you do wood, eh?
No, steel. It's not fucking carpentry, mate. That's metallurgy. Get fucking...
You're allergic to metal?
Okay, so it's going to take you a few hours to do that, to board up the house. And it is currently, I'll say by the time you're done, it's probably in mid-afternoon.
Also, mental note to myself, I'm recording this to my fucking H3 VR folder, not the fucking right folder. There we go, that will help me track up. I'll have to remember that for later.
Yeah. So yeah, it's by the time you're done boarding up the house, it's mid-afternoon.
Okie dokie.
But yeah.
Oh, it's just,
Axe.
I feel like this has got to be Axe's character. He's nothing in moderation. He eats more food than he
Yeah.
needs. He's a deforesting nightmare.
Takes more damage than he has to.
Oh no.
By the
alright, yeah, there we
time-
go.
By the time you're done boarding up the house, one of the 6 from the lake is beginning to stir.
Ariana, or Jesus
Ariana.
Christ.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Azora
Ariana,
tends to.
meanwhile,
He's-
Ariana is thinking how she can profit from the war.
Yeah, he's like, his eyes are like he like sees the fire and like immediately like backs up in a
God.
panic.
I just realized
fuck.
that means that fucking Vigor's orphanage is going to be taking in fucking war children.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Like, we have like homeless shelters and refugee like centers and whatnot. Like, I think Ariana's actually pretty upset about this war, just because it's probably like, you know,
It's eating
Costing
into the
a lot of
budget,
money.
literally.
yeah.
O'Malley's happy about this war because
She's
dead
probably
people
getting
take
a
out
lot
loans.
of side eyes from Davros and Ortega for saying, "Hey, let's make this actually work as a homeless shelter."
Yeah, just really bad timing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You try and do something nice, and then the fucking war starts, and oh boy.
Meanwhile, O'Malley is just happy because more people taking loans to move.
That's what you think. Anyway.
Yeah, Ariana just trying to be like, you know, I want to like be a nice person. I want people to like me. I want to be a positive force. And then really forced to like, you know, really the universe is really testing her on that. Like really putting her through.
So,
I'm gonna make...
uh,
Alright, so... I make up a bunch of wood, like, I just board the place up. We put
Yeah.
down a sign, bad house.
In fact, Axe is cutting out so much that you could make a new log cabin.
okay, so yeah, the one of the 6, a guy wakes up from one of the 6 and backs up as soon as he sees the fire in a panic.
Zora, like, you know, goes to sort of placing herself between the fire and him, and, you know, like, putting a firm hand on his shoulder, making sure he's okay, seeing if he's responsive to, like, words.
What the hell?
Are you okay?
Is the sky blue?
Azora nods. Last time I looked up.
He's like, Ish. I remember it being green.
Well, in some languages.
Oh god, get the
Oh.
Japanese and I woke up and I say, well, the Greeks didn't have it was the bronze, and then I walk away, and everyone says, who the fuck were the Greeks?
Axe knows about the great people.
That's, he kind of looks around. He starts like feeling like around his whole body below his neck, just making sure that he's all there.
Well, the Greeks would have described
I don't
Azora's
think
armor
this guy's all there.
of wine.
Is this real life?
No, this is just fantasy.
Hey, please
Uh,
help these people.
Caught in a landslide.
Feel a landslide coming down. So yeah, he just kind of looks around, like sort of in disbelief.
Yeah, Azora, you know, tries to like center him as much as she can, you know, like hold eye contact, you know, like look at me. You're safe now. This is real. Like feel the ground. You know, the whole like rigmarole when someone's having a, you know,
Yeah,
the same as the others.
the others, and he looks around and sees the other 5 on the ground and just thinks, they look familiar.
I should. You've been next to him for, well, a long time. And then Azor, like, right. Tell me, what year do you last remember it being?
Year. I believe it was 2987.
Ooh. Well, it's not as bad as the other guy.
Worst, but still not. So that's been.
I was God, hold on. I was on my way from Custer to Seneca, and my mind wandered.
He's gonna be fucked with when he tries to make the trip back.
I hate this. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
That all
Custer to
happened.
Seneca.
There used to be a road for that.
Well, good news.
No, there didn't.
We're gonna be
back then,
taking
that
you
road
to Seneca.
wasn't done.
Yeah. What?
Not Custer Seneca, I mean Regent Springs, the usual
Yeah.
connection people take.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Custer's kind of. I forget. Wait, Custer was still Confederacy?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. They're still in the Confederacy, so them and Seneca are still allied cities.
Yep. Yeah, it was Tarrant, Tensas, and Regents, or that was the thing with Custer, though, that's kind of surrounded, as I recall.
Yeah. They don't have it too good.
Nope, so they do not.
Doc Sledge is from Custer.
So yeah, he's just kind of looking around, like feeling the ground. So I remember it being.
Ass. Oh, let him go ahead.
I remember it being cold, not like this. It was. Oh my god.
Well,
The things I saw. It's still cold
geez.
though. Yeah, he looks up at you. What?
What's your name?
My name? It's. Oh Jesus. Hold on.
My name is Mortimer.
Sharona. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His real name is actually Morty.
It's Hal.
Hal. I like.
Hal.
Hal?
Oh, I'm picturing this guy now.
Not related to Howlett.
It's Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Better
He's got
than Hal.
roller skates on.
Remember when? Actually, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to talk about Hal Jordan.
Mm-hmm. It's like how long? What year is it now? Did you ask me?
3003.
No, it's 2004.
4.
Yeah.
Well, Zora's not so good
Yeah.
with words and numbers.
Excuse me?
You've been in there a while.
Holy shit. Oh
And
my god.
Does sort of pat him on the shoulder. I don't know if it's any consolation, but you're far from the longest someone's been in there.
Yeah, 300-year-old guy over there is still just sort of staring at the sky in fetal position. Barely acknowledges that sentence. I'm old. Yeah, and
I forget, what was his name? Or did he not?
he didn't give you one.
We're gonna name him Henry.
So yeah, Hal looks around and says, I don't recognize any of these people. These 5 on the ground are familiar, like I said, but I remember seeing them in a sort of haze.
Makes
Like
sense.
we were all lost in some kind of fog, all seeing the worst of the world.
I know that feeling. Zora just sort of nods. Makes sense. You've been trapped in another realm for quite a few years now, and you were trapped alongside these folks.
Right. Oh shit. How
And
much is...
once we have you all in a bit more of a transportable state, we're gonna try and transport you to Seneca, but
Oh.
well, we'll see how that goes. We'll cross that when we get to it.
Well, I'm probably going to be late.
You have business there?
I don't know if I still have business there, but I did.
What was it?
I was headed there to check up on my brother. Tell him that Dad died. I hope he's not still waiting on the news.
Azora does sort of nod at that. Something else I should say.
Yeah.
Only is it the year 3004. Wars come in the time.
War? Between who?
Seneca are still in the Confederacy, but few of the cities have split off.
I think you're cutting out, by the way.
Oh, am I?
You have been for me.
Here and there.
Yeah.
Oh,
What is it good for?
I mean, I don't know. Do I sound like I don't really have much I can really change about that? I guess I could try and move to my mom's room. I don't think that's gonna do much to improve things.
Yeah, nah, I just keep to it. So yeah, you said. So yeah, he says war. Between who?
Well, both Custer and Seneca are still in the Confederacy, so they're allied. But several of the city-states, Tarrant, Regents, some of the other ones.
Kansas, Larimer.
What he said, are part of a distinct group now, and the two are fighting.
Oh.
Custer's in a bad state, being in a poor tactical position.
Wow. Well, shit. That sucks. Well, ever since Dad died, that was my last family in Custer. That's why I was going to Seneca.
Last time when you were going to Seneca, how old was your brother then?
My brother, he was about to turn 18.
Young lad.
Oh, he'll still be kicking. Well,
The great
kicking.
is that he might be like drafted or something if he's in his early 30s now.
Oh, wait, was drafting happening in the cities?
Or I mean, he may have
asking Neo that
too.
Then we'll see. We'll get to that.
I thought it was
that would be like an int check if you want to spout lore on that.
Yeah, I'll spout lore on that. I think I'm probably nearby the house, just kind of thinking, just working on it, boarding it up.
Whether or not there's a draft in place in any of the cities.
I mean, he just said it wasn't cold, so there's clearly not a draft. Oh wow, yeah.
Drafts are in effect for Custer regents. No. Drafts are in effect for Custer, Regents, Tarrant, Marion, Tenzis, and Osprey.
Oh, not Seneca though.
Okay, yeah.
Nope.
I was able to quickly throw that into notes I am actually keeping, but these aren't session notes. These are just me notes.
Yeah, it's every city of the Bronze Plains.
Okay, yeah.
What's the name of the group?
I just throw out. Aegis just kind of chimes in. No, they shouldn't. They're not drafting. So if he's in the army, he chose it.
That's not the Confederacy.
Huh? What's not Confederacy?
What's the name of the group? That's
The
not
League.
League. Okay. But so yeah, we're reaching a point, and so Azora does go to talk once this guy seems a bit more calm and stabilized, does go to, Aegis, and don't know how much longer want to stay out here. We don't exactly have the most shelter, and we don't have a ton of provisions to keep a camp out here.
Or you
Uh,
look at me.
There are
Aegis-
still 5 of them that are, yeah.
Aegis looks over and says, well, he's looking over, how many people are still, like, how mobile is this group?
Well, 5 are conked out. The others look like they can move. And
Even old guy.
old guy. Well, again, old guy. He was in there for a few hundred years, but he is in his he is in his 30s.
I still meant more. Yeah, but just we don't know his name. We need an thing like in his mental state and everything. Can he really walk and travel?
Yeah.
Aegis is like looking over this. We got 5.
Probably.
We got 5 who are conked out. Not all of them can move all that well, but you're right that we should move. Maybe if not all the way, then somewhere we can. Aegis thinks about it. It's like Putnam's nearby. Maybe I can go there and get not a horse-drawn cart, but just something that me and Axe could pull the immobile along in.
I mean, I think if there are 5, you can carry 1, and Axe and I can each carry 2. And if something comes up, we can set them down. But it's still gonna be a bit of a rough travel.
It's no use us protecting them if we're tired out from carrying them.
Maybe it would be better if you and/or Axe went to Putnam. Would probably be closer to try and get a cart.
Possibly,
I'm not sure about to make an
probably.
in check for this. Like, how many hours walk? would
But
Putnam
and
be
then
from here?
Azor does scratch. But then money.
How much? A simple cart without a horse? That shouldn't. I got 67 coin. They shouldn't give me too much grief for that. Or I could just ask to borrow.
Well,
Putnam would be a brisk walk. At a brisk pace, it would take about half an hour to get there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, no,
we
I
can
have
risk
a
help.
point.
This
This is fine.
Me and Axe will head over to Putnam, try and procure a cart or some such, and we'll head back over as quickly as we can. Load the people on. We'll just explain the situation. They should let us borrow one, or if not, just put down some money on it.
maybe it would be better to see the situation too, and based off what you find in Putnam, we'll leave it to your discretion on if we should take these people just straight to Seneca or if we should get them to Putnam and then decide how we're getting them, where we're taking who and whatnot.
Oh, should you walk them to Putnam and then onwards to Seneca?
No, I would still get a cart and bring
okay.
it back so we can take. But I mean, maybe we would take the cart just back to Putnam with them, or
Yeah, let's see how it
Seneca
goes. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I call over Axe. I explain what we're doing,
Me, Axe.
and yeah, I guess. Do you want to stay here and defend, or should all three of us? Okay. So,
No, yeah, Azor will stay here with them.
Alright.
Before Aegis is about to leave, though, Azor does have one last thing to talk about with him.
Right.
And Azor just, on the subject of where these people go, sort of looking over them, and Azor just sort of sighs, I don't think you're going to like this idea, but I also imagine you know where I'm headed with this. I think we should at least explain to them the idea of, those dream people and what they're doing. Some of these people have been in there a long time and might have trouble finding anywhere else to go, especially, and Azor sort of nods to the one who's been in there for hundreds of years. I don't know what else we're going to do with him if not bring him there.
Aegis looks back and just says, I'm not sure you're going to like this, but once we get them to Seneca, why should it be our responsibility what is done with them? We're doing this on behalf of a Church of Tolerance, I feel it's either in his hands or in Seneca's authority's hands what happens to a bunch of people displaced out of time or their home cities.
Me, Axe, cannot believe what Axe is here. We have to help people.
We are helping them. We're not taking too much responsibility over what happens next to them.
You would just leave them?
No, I'm taking
No,
them
Azura
to
does sort
a
of-
protected city.
Yeah, and Azora does sort of sigh. You do raise a good point that it is better to just get them in the hands of, get them to a church or some other sanctuary that can then help them get where they're going from there. But still,
I'm not sure. I don't feel, regardless of your opinions on the place, part of me isn't comfortable with taking them out of one false reality to put them in another one, no matter how much nicer it might be.
I'm not saying put them there without consulting them. I just think it's worth bringing up to them as if they feel like they have nowhere else to go.
If you want to tell them about it, do it.
For
It's
them
not,
to keep in mind. Yeah.
If you want to tell them about it, that's your right to do so. I don't think it's that big a deal. They're free to do what they like now that they've got their lives back once they have some control over it. If they have any control over it. Like Aegis says, looking at the 300 years gone guy.
Azora does sort of just nod and just, says, just thought was worth talking to you about before I start saying things to them without consulting you.
That's fair. I'm not sure there is any right thing to say to some of them.
Yeah, and Azora just nods and anyway, and then just walking back to them. Safe travels.
Alright, now let's see how much trouble it is to get a cart from some people.
Alright, I won't have you roll perilous journey, by the way.
Okay.
It's a brisk 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
I mean, you know where it is. It's on the map.
I actually do have a question about elevation that I hadn't considered before. Is the Bronze Plains lower or higher, or is it just kind of leveled with...
It's mostly leveled with.
Because I've always imagined the Bronze Plains as being higher up, less sea level than Gulper's Marsh and the swamps.
It is. It is for the most part.
Yeah.
I always imagined it was kind of like in the U.S. where it's the further west you go, the further the elevation gradually. I imagined that, but in a northern way.
Yeah, northern is a lot more mountainous a region.
Yeah, and the south is all super flooded. The western stretches and the northern stretches are all mountainous, and the coast is more southeast. That seems to imply.
Alright, so yeah, we head over to Putnam, which, I mean, last time we were here it wasn't that big, but that was several years in a different party.
Yes. So, when you come within sight of Putnam, I'd say at about 25 minutes into your journey, you see the town in sight. When you approach, immediately, two people with wild eyes wielding pickaxes come up to you and demand to know what you're doing here.
I guess just kind of doesn't equip his weapon. He just puts his hand up and just goes, "Oh, not looking for trouble."
Not looking for trouble, huh? Yeah, you're not.
Nope, not looking for trouble. Just here to conduct business.
Well, it's good you're not looking for trouble, because there's no trouble back there. I'm telling you that much. No trouble at all.
I kind of lean to Axe and just whisper, "There's trouble back there."
Probably best not to take the people here then. I'm getting the impression.
Yeah.
Rather quick.
You here for the minerals? Huh? Are you? Which city? Which city sent you? You want the minerals? You can take it from our cold dead hands.
What mineral?
You want the coal, don't you?
We want something else that begins with C.
We want cart.
Not K?
Cart.
Yes.
Carts of coal?
We'll take an empty cart. If you think about it, coal, that's carbon. People are carbon. So really, we
An
would be
empty cart made
transporting.
of coal.
We would be
What?
transporting carbon either way.
Axis carbon?
Okay, Edward Elric.
All right, he's like, he says, they look at each other and
All right, Arda.
whisper to each other. And then it's like, all right, follow us. No funny business.
That's not
I want to
funny.
discern realities, like kind of like looking over their shoulder, looking at the town,
All right.
just looking beyond. Okay, something's gone wrong here. Something's gone very bad. No, well, what should I ever expect?
So yeah, follow me. Follow us. No funny business.
As we're like following these two, and Aegis is just kind of mentally preparing for a fight. She's going, oh god, and I'm doing this for free. Like that's Aegis's thought on the matter. That this isn't even a paying job.
He does it for.
So yeah, as soon as you get into town, everyone you see in town is like carrying a pickaxe or rolling a cart full of coal or other minerals. And
you shooting that kid years ago spared him from coming back to this.
And one of them shouts out, and one of them who brought you with you says, one of them shouts out, "Coal Daddy! One of them, an outsider, wishes to do business."
Oh no. I don't like this one bit.
This place might be on the list to revisit later with intent.
All right, and out of a wooden building reinforced with steel, comes a man garbed in very rough looking, like honestly poorly put together steel armor. Which is blacked up with coal dust.
Is he blacked up?
The armor is. There's like coal like rubbed all over it basically.
Okay.
And he shows up and he walks out.
I got a question. How flammable is coal? Just in case we need that knowledge.
Coal isn't that
I mean,
no, it's not. No,
like,
you need to put shit on it to get it burning proper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need fluid.
yeah, it's like, or I mean, or like kindling will also get it. It doesn't like light easily, but once it burns, it like burns, you know.
But if there's dust in the air from it, it might be.
Oh, coal dust is quite flammable.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
that is very flammable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just picks.
if he's been rubbing himself with it, and there might.
By the by, also the air quality here is pretty bad.
Okay,
I
point
should say.
taken. Let's not start any fires.
Just playing with the lighter he found.
I mean, okay, it's not like it's not like explode. Like obviously, you can have like coal next to like a fire. It's not gonna be like there are times where people are like shoveling coal into furnaces. That's not gonna
Yeah.
Okay, so
explode.
someone walks out. So this guy walks out and just says, "Who seeks audience with Coal Daddy?"
Hello, Daddy.
Hail, Aegis Aglia.
And where are you from?
Oh,
I'm
axe
from
up.
far south, from a country that no longer exists, Brufnell.
Aegis is supposed to have a somewhat Eastern European accent.
Yeah, he is. I'm not going to affect one during all of this.
I can't imagine pronouncing that last name with an Eastern European.
Aegis, yeah, nah. That's a fair point.
All right, so yeah, he just goes, "Mm-hmm." And you, large one?
Oh, me axe. Me come up from north. Me from little town. Forget name.
Acceptable. What are you here for?
Why
We
you
are
call
looking for a cart.
Cart? What kind of cart?
One that the big lad here can pull.
that? Hi.
Alright, then what do you want in it, huh?
Nothing. Axis is just gonna drag cart. Axis.
We are not. We
Axis.
are.
Horse.
I'm not sure whether I should I'm not sure if he'd respect us being in industry. Obviously not coal, but if we say logging instead of people, we could just say people. Not sure how he'll respond to anything, to be honest. Yeah, fuck it. We've got people that need moving who are injured, and we need it to move them. We can pay for that. We can pay for borrowing the carts, or we can pay to keep it, whichever you prefer. If you can spare one.
Hello.
Try and be reasonable to the coal daddy.
He looks you over and just says, "What worth is coin? What worth is gold? Do you know the worth of gold coin?"
One
The gold
coin.
standard.
How much do you have?
I have 67 coin. It's valuable elsewhere.
It's valuable, huh? You think so?
Actually, you said how much? You said you had? You had 67.
I just said the full amount. I didn't lie about it. I ain't making no charisma checks right now.
67 coin, huh?
Actually,
Yes.
Axe give Aegis 3 coin.
I'm just throwing back out there. Also, keep in mind that there's a fee to get into Seneca.
Yeah, and we're gonna try and find a way around that when we get back in, regardless, because we can't move that many people in.
You have in your hands, in possession, 67 coin, and you wish to have a cart.
Right, and for some reason, Axe just handed me free, which is gonna make things
Right.
like. Do you do that secretly, or do you do that in the open?
No, I don't actually do that.
Okay, all right.
You have in your possession 67 coin, and you wish to have a cart.
Yes.
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 You wish to get the cart by giving me the coin.
Is there another form of payment you would prefer?
You are a fool.
Axe can chop wood.
Now this man, he points at Axe and just says, "This man is smart. He is your leader, correct?"
Yes, he is my leader.
Hello,
Good.
Axe.
Good head on this one's shoulders.
Actually, he's my fulcrum, but
Do not pay. Coin is worthless. Coin is worthless. All that's worth anything is hard work. You want a cart? You mine the coal to fit in that cart.
We're just looking at each. I feel like Axe and Ace just looking at each other and just a comedy sting plays.
you know, a pickaxe is a type of axe.
Yeah, I mean, Axe can just. I guess, yeah. You want Axe to work in the coal mines?
He points at a cart that is empty, at a pretty large empty cart, and says, "That will be yours. But first, you must go there." And he points at a cave, and says, "And bring me enough coal to fill it."
But how we gonna put people on it if it's full of coal?
You do not need to take the coal. The coal is the price. It's the exchange.
Aegis puts his hand up.
Yes, you have a question.
I'm gonna regret asking this. What are you doing with the coal?
You serious? What are we doing with the coal?
What are you doing with the coal?
What do you do with coal, sir?
I don't know.
Burn it or sell it.
Or eat it.
Oh, ye of little mind.
Or you write with it.
There is so much more that can be done with coal.
Have you ever had, like, charcoal ice cream?
No.
Crazy what people pay for that.
Coal is its own value. This is what
Just the skin.
This is what you need to learn. Go there and bring me coal, and you shall have your cart.
Okay, I'm gonna try something and it's gonna be really dangerous. Alright, Aegis is just gonna step forward. He, says to Axe, "I apologize, leader, but I have to try this. Listen, we are on a bit of a time... We're on a bit of a schedule here. We have injured back up that way. So, let me explain to you why coin is good.
What?
Axe
You
can work.
see, there's a lot of coal in this world. I'm sure you're aware. And in most places, You can't just walk in there with a pickaxe and get it yourself. In most of the world, in towns not far from here, people have to go out to market and purchase their coal. He's walking away. I just hear him pickaxe while I'm making my sales spiel.
Yeah.
I look over the cart, and this is going to be tricky, but Aegis wagers this. Do you know what people pay for coal in the wider world? And don't say you don't care, because that isn't the point.
Wait, hold on.
Like, Aegis is just gonna try and bullshit the worth of the coal that could fit in that cart.
You asked him what?
I asked him, do you know what coal is worth? And, like, he's holding a coin out in terms of this.
What? You asked him what the coal is worth or what the cart is worth?
What the coal is worth. Like, if you were to...
Coal.
What the coal is worth in terms of this. Not to you, but to others.
He looks at it and just says, he looks at the coin and looks at the coal and just thinks to himself, 350 per wagon last I checked.
You've not been in the world for a long time, have you?
What?
You've not been out in the wider world for a long time, have you? It's dropped considerably. I'm alright, this is gonna be my big play, and this will probably fail. Aegis puts 20 coin in the cart and says, I have filled this cart with coal.
Roll charisma.
I really hope this succeeds, because I'm happy with that line.
You know, should I roll...
It's a good one. It's a very audacious...
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I was saying, should I roll against him, like bond against him, because I just went and started chopping coal?
I hope you don't, but that's your call if you want this.
No. Should I?
Do you want to?
I don't think you should.
No, I'm not gonna. But Axe is going to... He is grabbing a pickaxe and just...
That's good, because I got a 7, so we might be in trouble. So it's good that one of us is already just acquiescing.
He's looking at you and says, they buy coal by the wagon for 20 coin.
Aegis nods, tries not to break composure with the bullshit he just pulled.
But wagons by itself for 150.
You asked me to fill this cart with coal, and I would get the cart.
And that's a cart, not a wagon.
It's a cart, yeah. We've been asking for a cart since the very start.
I mean, what's your point?
My point is
the price of coal. The price of a cart full of that coal is 20. Then that's what they're paying for. That's
This task was very simple. Fill this cart with coal. In a manner of speaking, I have done that. If you were to go, Aegis just like picks it. Aegis just like looks at him and says, "If you were to walk to another town right now and put down 20 coin, it would be filled."
I'll walk to a town with barbarians. Are you kidding me?
Are you calling You're calling yourself a barbarian?
No, I'm not going to walk to a primitive, backward city operating on a gold standard.
Alright, this has gotten a lot more complex.
The value of work is work. The value of coal is coal. No medium of exchange should have ever been invented. That's what I've learned.
Neo, I have a question. Should I roll something to see just how much coal I've gotten?
Yeah, roll con.
It's just literally undermine me by walking out with all of it.
Let's see. I say you've got a wheelbarrow full of coal.
He's just walking back out. Alright, Aegis is gonna try another thing then.
I'd say it's about enough to fill like a quarter of the cart.
I think Aegis is enjoying this debate, and also he doesn't actually want to do any mining, so he's just dragging it out.
Oh, this is his real, like, the mind games. Now he's accepted they're just doing it, but he wants to like make it look like he's being productive while Axe does all the actual work.
It's all mind games. This is what a leader, even though I'm not the leader in this situation, has to do. So Aegis just looks at Coal Daddy and says, "You're thinking too small, Coal Daddy."
You know, I have a take on Coal Daddy that I don't feel like would be appreciated if I said it.
Thinking too small?
If you were to go to one of their towns and get that coal with this money, you would be depriving them of coal and just giving them, and Aegis picks up the 20 coin, you'd be giving them this trash.
You say I'm thinking too small? Well, you know what? I think you're thinking too big.
You see, the problem with your NPCs, Neo, is they're completely undefeatable in these arguments. They're too fucking flexible.
There is value.
Oh no, that's a pretty, like, airtight argument.
There is value in thinking small. You want to know where thinking big gets you, son? Look outside the borders at that guerrilla war there. That's what thinking big gets you.
Meanwhile, some gorillas are throwing rocks.
And what about when that war comes to your doorstep?
It won't. We have nothing of value to them.
You have coal. Coal is incredibly valuable.
We have
You
only...
just said it's worth 20 a wagon.
But that's still incredibly valuable. That is still incredibly valuable.
That's the genius, you see. They've decided to ever since we decided that money has no value, they've turned to getting resources elsewhere. They've left us alone.
Not gonna.
Can't
It's not
argue with
going
that.
to last, Coal Daddy. When they see how much coal you're sitting on, that is its own reward. That's going nowhere. Just a big ripe stockpile. Sat in the middle of Regent Springs and Seneca, right on the border of this war. They might come for it. And you won't be able to pay them to go away. You won't be able to pay them to walk.
Speaking of walking, how much should I roll con again, Neo?
Sure. And a control charisma.
2 barrow. I turn around and there's 2 wheelbarrow.
Yeah, another wheelbarrow out.
That's really good.
Alright, 8 on charisma. He says, I wouldn't be able to stop them, perhaps, if they came bearing down, but they're too busy with each other, because they've been thinking too much and too largely, and so they are fighting. And they will destroy themselves well before they set their sights on us. And if they don't destroy themselves, well then simply that means that they would have achieved the truth of enlightenment. They would have also realized that money has no true value. And they will be amenable to us. They'll think like we do.
I have no idea where to even begin picking that apart. I have got no possible starting position. Okay, Aegis just like kind of backs up and he's kind of backs up a bit, bumps into that cart full of coal, and
Meanwhile, Axe is 40% of the way to filling up the cart.
all right, that just means I have to keep this gibbering match going, so I don't actually have to do anything. How do I? What's my next step in this? All right, fuck it. We're just gonna argue semantics here. They won't destroy themselves. Only one half will be destroyed. Then there'll be one half, and they'll be able to do whatever they want. And they'll come here without opposition, with no one to stop them. They'll start thinking small. They'll start thinking too small with no big ideals to fight. All big ideas become small ideas in time.
And when they think small, they'll think as we do.
They won't. It will be a competing different small idea.
What small idea will it be?
It will be the idea that if money has no value, then the only thing worth fighting for is coal.
What of water?
If I were to fill this cart with water, could I leave with it?
No, you need a pot. Oh my god, you're right. Clay. He just kind of turns around and starts stroking his chin.
You know, how about this? Do you want to know why gold is valuable? Gold is in fact harder to mine than coal.
Yeah, that's why our stockpile of gold isn't as big.
But surely that means it's worth more for the difficulty in getting it. If the reward is coal is in the acquisition itself, what is the hardest thing out there to acquire?
I don't know. I don't know, Aegis. Seems like gold doesn't have much
Alright,
practical
fuck it.
use.
I'm going Galaxy Brain on this one. I'm gonna try and... If we're gonna fight on this stupid ideological battlefield. So he's turned around, he's looking. Aegis, like, walks up behind him and tries, like, put his arm over his shoulder. Do you know what the hardest thing to cultivate is?
Yes, diamond.
No. Peace and love for your fellow man.
Should I roll a con again, Neo?
You
Yes.
see, mining that coal, it's easy to see how much you've done. It's easy to see, and he's just like walking out of a wheelbarrow and it tips over and just spills everywhere.
You know,
Oh.
technically emerald is rarer than diamond.
Yeah, so you walk out with Okay, now the cart's up to 45.
I've got a plan here that I hope will work. It won't, but I feel like there's an angle of attack here. Do you know why it's harder to cultivate that peace and love and charity for your fellow man? You can see coal. You can see how much is there. You can measure it. And it's very simple. You strike the earth and you get it. But it's so much harder to strike within yourself, and you can't see it. You have to reaffirm it every single day. It's the hardest thing out there to work for.
Roll charisma.
Yes!
Yeah, he looks at you silently and just puts a hand on his chest. That really hits me where I live, son.
Now,
Have you been listening to that rock music or something?
The Apex Crusaders? Oh, I love them.
Really hits me right here.
Now, while it might be difficult to fill this cart with coal, Aegis says, looking around at the 2 wheelbarrows of coal, I can promise that if you give me this cart, I will fill it with kindness. This will get several unfortunate souls to safety.
How many?
We have 12 wounded, but only 5 or 6 are currently unable to walk. But that's 6 people spared pain. You do realize this guy's going to be renamed Love Daddy if he fucking turns to peace and love.
He thinks. He's like, he looks to Axe and says, "Your friend here has spoken to my soul. This amount of coal is enough. Take the cart."
Okay. And Axe just lift the carts and just dump it on the floor.
No, it's
I ask you not but one thing, son.
I look
When
at him.
when you tend to your wounded, and when you tell them tell them of Putnam, the city, the town that knows the value of coal. We are always looking for those who bring no war.
I see.
Oh, actually, after
And
Axe's done. Oh, by the way, Axe curious about this philosophy you have of work being worth work. Do you perhaps have pamphlet or book Axe can read?
None. Check back with me on that.
Okay.
So yeah, we take the cart and start heading back at this.
Tell them about it. Tell them about the coal.
I will tell them.
Tell them Coal Daddy loves them.
I'm just kind of like pulling the cart with one hand, waving over my shoulder with the other.
Axe, actually, this is the time Axe decides to just lay down on the cart. Axe done all the work. Axe need rest.
I did all the work.
No, Axe mined coal.
I convinced him about peace and love.
That's true. You're a good man, Aegis.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it selflessly. I just didn't want to mine.
Wow. Wow. Axe just wow.
Okay,
Axe
so
thought
I'm
better
gonna
of you.
say that probably took about an hour. And the walk back will be 30 minutes. So, Azora, in the
Yes.
meanwhile, another one of the five starts to stir.
Okay, I mean, she goes through basically the same thing she did last time. Trying to make sure they're stabilized. Do they seem to like? I don't know how. What's their initial condition
It's a
seem like?
woman. She brushes her hair aside, looks up at you. When you speak, she says, "Your voice sounds familiar."
Yeah, Azora's, I like eyebrows sort of narrow at that. Did I talk to like one or two? Oh yeah, I did. Oh fuck, what was her name?
Alanis.
And then yeah, oh yeah, does this seem to be her?
Uh, Probably.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Azora's eyes sort of narrow and then questioning. Alanis?
That sounds like my name. Oh my god.
Okay. That makes sense.
Oh my god. Where
Yeah,
am I
Azora
now?
sort of kneels down and puts a hand on her shoulder. Well, you're okay now, Alanis. Everything's okay.
Oh. You- Oh god.
You're safe. Your name's Alanis, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the the last place you remember being, or why you're here?
Um. Well, I was sent to. I came here with my family from overseas. The mud was a lot. We tried to make it in a settlement. The settlement went away. I had to go try and get help from a city. Tried to get help from regents. And then, oh god.
What year do you remember it being?
2950.
Yeah, Azora's eyebrows definitely narrow at that. So she's been
54
yeah,
years.
yeah. That's a lot. Quite a bit older than Azora. I think she definitely wins the prize for second oldest now. Azora does just say, oh yeah, this is rough. Yeah, she's in for Azora's gonna definitely try and ease her into it. And then Azora doesn't react too much and just nods like, you've been trapped for a while. You're safe now, though. We have quite a few more other people who are also trapped with you. We're working on trying to get you safe.
Safe where?
Trying to figure that much out. Seneca, maybe, or
Seneca.
Well, in any case. Aye.
You're certain Seneca's the best place?
No, but it's near and not the worst.
Right.
There aren't many places that are particularly safe right now. In any case, Azora is gonna try and see if she can stay, or she's gonna try and seat her next to the guy who's been gone for a few hundred years.
The one who has barely spoken.
Yeah, just feel like maybe it won't seem quite as bad compared to the guy who's been trapped for 300 years. Try and ease her into it that way.
Just gonna tell her that this man has been trapped for 270 years or something.
No, but I mean, you know what? I guess she is just gonna sit her down and you know, like, okay, there are a few people now, and we're still waiting on a few waking up. Trust me, I'm going to do everything I can to try and work with you and figure out the best thing to do and help you restart. We also, there's a Church of Temperance that will hopefully be able to help you.
Temperance.
And sort of eyeing this guy, you know, like,
Temperance.